dude, is it just me, or does Insomniac make, like, the best games? It's not just me, right? Other people agree? Whatever, let's just get into the video. I make videos sometimes. So for those of you who didn't see yesterday's video, which, let's be honest, is probably a lot of you, I got a PS5 yesterday. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I woke up this morning and had to look over where the PS5 was to make sure that it was actually there and it wasn't some hyper-realistic dream. And, I mean, I've had pretty realistic dreams that felt super real. Primarily ones where I've died? Yeah, I'm not kidding. And I swear almost every time it involves me getting hit by a car. Is the universe trying to tell me that that's how I'm gonna go? That I'm just gonna forget to look both ways one day and next thing you know... Anyway, that got fucking dark. Let's talk about Insomniac. So, I've been playing Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and I've come to the conclusion that Insomniac is fucking amazing. As if, you know, the Spyro games that they actually made in every previous Ratchet & Clank game wasn't enough to come to that conclusion. Yeah. But yeah, I heard their first game was like a generic first-person shooter that really wasn't anything special, so they were off to a bit of a rocky start, but once they made Spyro, man, whew, they just put out banger after banger after banger, like, no joke. If I may be so bold, I would even go as far as to say that Insomniac and Naughty Dog are like two of the biggest reasons Sony stayed afloat. Now, some may argue not everything Naughty Dog's made has been, you know, that great. But I'm not really gonna take other people's word for it on The Last of Us 2, and I'm just gonna play it myself and come to my own conclusion, but getting a little off topic. As far as I'm concerned, the only mistake Insomniac ever made was letting go of Spyro, and that applies to Naughty Dog as well for, you know, letting go of Crash. Those two franchises have been extremely mistreated over the years. But, hey, Toys for Bob seem to, set things right, so hopefully there's another Spyro game and it's, you know, good, but again, off topic. So why is Insomniac so awesome? Well, besides the first three Spyro games that they made, nearly every Ratchet & Clank game has been an absolute fucking banger, in my opinion. Even the 2016 reboot, which some people said wasn't that great, yeah, you're all wrong. 100% wrong. Like, Ratchet & Clank 2016 is one of my top 2 PS4 games. Number 1 being Spider-Man, and number 2 being Ratchet & Clank 2016. Both of which are Insomniac games. Coincidence? I think not. Even Miles Morales was a pretty good game. Granted, not quite as good as the first Spider-Man game, but I don't think that it needed to be, since it's technically a spin-off. And I am absolutely confident that the next Spider-Man game by Insomniac is going to be an absolute fucking banger. Like, even if it ends up, again, not being quite as good as the first Spider-Man game, it's still going to be really good. Like, absolutely 100%. No gameplay yet, but, I mean, it's Insomniac Spider-Man, and it's gonna have Venom. I really don't think that there's anything else that's needed there. I really don't. Like, it's gonna be good. It's 100%, it's gonna be good. Like, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my fucking underwear. What's funny is, when I first heard they were making a Spider-Man game, I kinda doubted them a little. Like, I knew it was gonna be good, especially since, like, even Activision managed to make good Spider-Man games, so... I was sure Insomniac was gonna make a good one, I just didn't fucking know how good. And I kinda figured Sucker Punch would have been a better fit since, you know, open world games are kinda their thing, with, like, how Sly 2 and 3 were, and how, you know, the Infamous games are, which are literally open world superhero games that in some ways take inspiration from Spider-Man, so I was like, Sucker Punch makes the most sense, like, why Insomniac? And then people started saying that, you know, Marvel's Spider-Man was one of the greatest games of all time, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure it's good, but there is no way a Spider-Man game can be that good. And, I mean, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so no biases here, but, you know, licensed games are usually, like, just okay. Of course, there have been good Spider-Man games in the past, but I really didn't think that Marvel's Spider-Man was gonna compete with the fucking big dogs and be, like, one of, if not the best PS4 game, but then I played it, and I'm like, holy fucking balls! Everything about this game feels fucking fantastic. The swinging, the combat, the story, the visuals, everything about that game is fan-fucking-tastic, and it is my favorite PS4 game. I'm like, fucking how? This shit's better than it has any right to be. Insomniac has done it again. And then there's Rift Apart. My god. My fucking, like, Insomniac does not have to keep bringing their A game this fucking hard. Okay? Like, you can get away with making a just okay game, I think, right? But absolutely every fucking time Insomniac makes a game, they put their absolute all into it and just make one of the best games of all time. Like, fucking hell. And like, I got nothing against Xbox fans. Hell, I have an Xbox One and an Xbox 360 on my shelf right now, and they're pretty good consoles, for the most part, and some pretty good games as well. Like, you know, Halo and whatever, but I'm telling you, y'all Xbox fans are missing the fuck out, dude. Like, okay? Even outside of Insomniac, there are absolute bangers on PlayStation, but Insomniac has been responsible for a good majority of Sony's fucking absolute bangers. Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sucker Punch, like, those three companies have just... wow. And don't even get me started on God of War. Like, shit. But Insomniac in particular, like, I've just noticed that so much of what they've made is just amazing. And then you've got companies like Sega, you know, as much as I respect them, constantly fucking up. And I'm like, dude, take cues from companies that just seemingly don't make mistakes. I'm not saying Insomniac is perfect, or Naughty Dog is perfect, or, you know, any of the other companies I've mentioned are perfect, but like, Insomniac knows how to make a game, is all I'm saying. They know how to make a game. And almost everything, no, actually, like, everything I've played by them, I've loved. So, yeah. Just good shit all around. But hey, that'll do it for the video, and, you know, hopefully I have more time to enjoy Insomniac's games before I inevitably come face to face with a semi-truck. But, hey, with all that said, this is the Gothic Gaming Geek signing out. Have a fucking good one.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by